All right, sorry about that long ass intro. I had to get my headphones on. Apologize for that. What's going on, everybody? My name is Suge, and I am here with oh my god, it feels like forever. Jeff and Buck, my two buddies. It feels like it's been forever since we hung out and talked,
right?
especially about Showdown. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
It's been a while, man. I mean, like there hasn't been a whole lot of. I mean, like there's been the announcements and stuff like that, but like in terms of like lots of conclusive stuff to discuss, it's been kind of few and far between. Which from my understanding is it's intentional that way. Right now, we're about to see a lot of stuff happen.
I think Saturday it's gonna just go boom. I think we're gonna get a lot more.
Just like that, Buck.
Boom, boom. No. Christian's gonna look in the camera and go.
Boom. I thought that was just an impression of you when you go to Vegas.
maybe not.
Yes. So real quick before we talk about some things in the Showdown, just want to say thank you for everybody that's hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'm at 62 subscribers right now on this channel, so I want to try to get to 100. Be doing a lot of different things. Maybe reacting Saturday to the matches if I'm able to. If not, doing some other maybe small Showdown content here or there. Doing a lot of sports content here, and just discussion about different things, whether it be comic books, life, Showdown, sports, whatever. We're gonna just do many things on my channel. So thank you for the support. I appreciate everyone that does support and is here hanging out with us. All right, so let's get into it. Ben, the boss man. Well, first there was two announcements by Kate. She wanted to break Frankie Numbers' kneecaps, apparently, which was kind of hilarious.
That was great. That like the look on his face was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going full. The Den's going full hill now. We're just going full. We're like breaking.
Her wearing the fucking mask, just going like, oh yeah, why am I wearing this?
Oh, I don't want to catch your accent.
Yeah, I don't want to catch your accent.
We're going
so
full
funny
hill
because they're both from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Ravens Online Gatekeepers? Make sure to follow that channel. If you are a Ravens fan, football fan, or a sports fan, make sure to follow that channel. So first she announces Jen Kempe to the Den, which I think is an underrated pickup for the Den because not only can she play multiple divisions, and I haven't really heard or saw what's the ruling on people playing multiple divisions.
I think it's that now. Obviously, I could be wrong. Okay. Maybe I am, or maybe the rules
probably
will change
are
because but there's I believe someone has a specialty field that they could be in, but they can also play in other divisions as well. But they are it's weird. It's a very weird thing because if you notice, Corruption had their announcement, right, and they kept the team Corruption. And Shannon made it very clear that, of course, she's keeping her IG player, Mike Kalinowski, but she also referenced Kalinowski and Chance as being Team Corruption to get the belts back. Yeah. So I believe it's that is that, but they also only have one dedicated person to something, but then they can also kind of cross over, but they can really. But they have to have at least one player per division, two obviously for teams. But then they can also cross over, but they can't have any more. They can't have 4 Star Wars players probably. It's obviously like the numbers kind of are a little funky because anyone can kind of play any league they want to. It doesn't mean they're going to succeed. Or it depends on what Christian's
like Bateman could go to Star Wars. If he wanted to.
All he needs is 60,000 days, and then he'll get it.
60,000.
I think he needs to add, a couple zeros
based on how the division is versus probably what the assumption would be. Yes.
And real quick, shout out to Tony Hendo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony Hendo, Kelly.
He's now on a faction with the current champion. So if there's anyone to learn from, the Major's a good one.
Yep. And shout out to Jeremy Miller for being here. So I think, like I was saying, that this is one of the best pickups for me because first off, Jen is not only talented. We didn't get to see a lot of her, so there's not a lot of tape on her, and she's played pretty good. She played good against. Why is his name just all of a sudden skip my mind? Oh my god, the Damons, Alex Damon. She played good against him in the IG tournament. She played a good match versus Video Drew, where Video Drew went perfect to beat her, and then with Vinny Mancuso and team, she did pretty good. So I think that this.
So she is 1-2, and don't forget she did beat Felix Morit.
Okay.
In singles last year.
And she was 1-2. She was 1-2.
Couple things about
singles
that.
Last year.
Let's remember a couple things about the Felix Morit thing. As awesome as it is that she was able to get 4 points, was it for swag for that match?
4 or 3 because she did win by knockout.
It was a knockout. It would have been 3 points because it was a tournament match. 4 points though, because was it a tournament match?
I don't know. No, it was not.
Oh, then
she played Horowitz. She opened against Horowitz.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so it was just the two of them. I know because I tried to have them both in order to kind of play the system, and I failed miserably because unfortunately Mort came up so short, which is why I'm saying when someone plays that poorly, I don't really look at how well the other player did as a result, because unless the other player also does very poorly, then it's really not necessarily a reflection on their talents. For instance, we all love the 14-13, right? We love talking about 14-13. But if Swift had done even a little better, then we wouldn't even be talking about how good or bad Swift was. We would only be talking about the predictable Whitnaven kind of falling apart. Morit fell apart there. Kemp did what she just did. She did what she had to do. There was really nothing more than being adequate. Or at least that's all she was able to really show, because Morit fell apart so badly she wasn't able to really show past that. But in her team's match, in her other match against Horowitz, yes, she's good. I just want that specific one to not be cited as a really awesome thing. She has a KO on her record, but that doesn't really mean much, at least to me.
I mean, a KO is a KO. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I think a win's a win. It doesn't matter how you how poorly or how great you did. A win's a win.
No. I get a win as a win. I'm talking about for instance, what's a good example of a win is a win? Oh shit! Who's a great example of a win is a win? But what does that really mean? Oh, RMB versus Dagnino. Who won that?
No.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
No, I 100% what you're saying, Jeff. But I mean, at the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, her other matches though prove yes. I like to be. Oh man, I'm tipping into Bibbs territory there. It's let's just get let's just talk about the nitty-gritty details of this bullshit. No, but I do agree with you.
It's totally fine to do. It's totally fine to talk about the nitty-gritty. But
I mean, Philly, all we do is talk about gritty.
Facts. What I'm excited about for Jen is, and I think we've talked about it, Jeff, when we had Video Drew on, how she talked about having Ben Bateman a part of the faction. It made her a better player. Now you get who I have said multiple times is the ultimate Showdown, player and, historian now on your faction to learn from. And it's just going to make her better. Now, there's Jeremy said, I'm happy for Jen, but I don't see her with Bateman as a team. And that would still be a great team. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. It would be, I think she would cover a lot of his holes.
I don't think Ben wants to do teams as much as singles. He wants that singles belt so damn bad. I think he's.
I don't think Bateman wants his holes covered.
I mean, depends who you ask. Thrawn, what's up, Thrawn? Hope you're having a great day. How many KOs can you say were good performances from both?
It can't be. If both competitors played well, it's not a knockout.
I had a thought in my head, and the more I kept talking, obviously, the dumber I was sounding. So I get it.
I don't think it's if both competitors play well, you're not going to have a knockout. The only way a knockout happens is someone just doesn't play well and someone plays well. Exactly. That's how I view it. Because if they're both playing well, they're both going to have to probably answer their fives. So,
yeah, and a knockout. I mean, unless
are you sure 14-13 had them answer their fives?
I mean,
but both were awful in that match. It wasn't like one wasn't good. One was bad. They were both bad. Either you're both really good or you're both really, really bad. Jesse, I love you. I'm not talking shit on you, all right? I love you, Jesse, but that was not one of your best days. It was not one of your best days.
He knows that.
Also, yeah, why are they only doing 4? Why does every faction leave up that 5th spot?
Well, they're very. I think it's purposely what Christian's doing to get people excited. Let's just be honest. This is look at on this show. We're not gonna play the whole kayfabe. We're not gonna we don't know. No, I'm telling it straight up here. I just think Christian wants to just get people excited, and
that's exactly it.
That's just which is fine.
We're definitely.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. Amaru Moses in the house. What faction are we talking about again? And why are we here? Well,
Amaru going on to swag feels perfect to me, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's like a glove.
I feel he was so close to beating Mike. Can you imagine if he did? That would have been
I was there.
Feat.
I was there. I watched Saul get KO'd, and then I watched.
I definitely think that
Amaru has a very long and fruitful career in IHE. That's what's going to.
Oh, absolutely.
That's I think he will have a title match again this year. I think he's 2 matches probably away from a number.
Yeah, I get it, Amaru. We're talking about swag. It's getting you moist. I understand.
Actually, I was gonna say, Amaru, you might want to go get that drip looked
checked out.
Checked out. Yeah,
it's not a good thing, but
apparently it's a communicable disease there.
But no, Jen. I mean, with Jen Kempe joining
the den,
joining
That's what we're
the
talking
den.
About, right?
Yes, joining the den. I think this gives Kate flexibility. And also too, it gives Jen an opportunity. I think now, because she's part of the den, she's absolutely going to get more matches than she has before. Because we saw what she did in the free for all. She played amazing, and she was right there. So this is, awesome. I think for me, this is going to give her a lot more opportunity, much confidence, and I think Jen might make a run this year, whether it be in IG or singles or teams. I think she's gonna be able to run, and if she is paired with Bateman, that could be interesting. But I think she could do it either way, or they bring in somebody else for Bateman. She sticks to singles and IG, or because you already got Saul in IG, and I'm assuming Saul is pretty close to a number 1 contender match. So I'm thinking he has to win 1 or 2 matches to get there. For me, I think he needs to win 2.
Yeah.
And so I think this gives Kate a lot of flexibility. But here's the thing, Jeremy, she doesn't have to be the heel.
No.
Kate is her mouthpiece. And
that's exactly it.
She's just that. Kate is her mouthpiece.
The way a lot like what you just said, Suge, about it's not about just acting kayfabe with all that stuff. I mean, when there are people who are obviously not very heel-esque and they have a heel manager, all they have to do to kind of just feed into the general heelness of the faction is nod your head and agree with the things that are being said. You don't have to say the heel shit on your own. Kate will just say whatever obscene shit comes out of her mouth, like always, and Jen will just be like, "Yep, that's it. I'm gonna win," and you agree with it.
Kelly brings up a good point. She's on a heel faction. She doesn't have to be a heel. There's plenty of other people on that faction that will be heels for the faction.
Oh, absolutely.
So she doesn't necessarily have to be a heel per se. She could just answer.
Jen is pretty tall, isn't she? Jen's pretty tall.
Yes.
Harper is tall. Everyone else has to have heels if they're going to reach up to that. Ben's tall. Oh my God,
that's a horrible joke, Jeff.
According,
Saul's got to walk around the Showdown live just to get in their eye line.
Yeah. According to the Showdown Live.com right now for the rankings for Inner Geekdom, again, I don't know how current these are. Amaru is 4th, Saul is 5th.
Something that
I don't think this has not been changed since before Spectacular, though.
This is exactly this kind of feeds into just a thought there.
With but Marisol I don't think that's going to change much. I'm not going to.
With Marisol here,
sorry, Jeff.
I don't think that I'm sorry. I'm so focused on the Marisol comment here in terms of like heel stuff. Jeremy and Kelly here. Jeremy saying she's an anti-hero. No, I think she's just a straight up hero at this point. Like the crowd and the way they feel for her every fucking time she comes on stage, that is not anti. That is just hero. And yes, she is on a heel faction. She has been on a heel faction. And the thing that is like sometimes if she leans into those heel tendencies, to me, I agree. She's not a heel. She is someone who is so confident in herself and the spot that she's in that to some people may come off as heel, which is why I feel as though some people might mistake heelish tendencies with a strong sense of confidence. Because the one thing that both people that are very confident in themselves when they're going to play and heels do is they talk themselves up. They talk about how much better they are. They know that they're going to do well, etc. And it's all about the tone of voice. So I agree. Marisol is not a heel. I think that Jen could be in the same vein as Marisol in terms of someone who is surrounded by heels. But if she's able to speak with confidence, she's someone who might be able to blend in without actually being a part of that sort of characterization.
Absolutely. 100%. I agree with that because I think Marisol has sort of turned it on as the season came to end, saying some heelish stuff. But I think she is almost what Stone Cold was. Is she's a heel? She could be a heel, but she's loved.
Kelly
and I have a analogy.
He definitely is healing up for everyone.
By the way, I want to see Saul versus Rutu, or just I want to see anyone versus Rutu, just so that way they can have that sort of title because the rhyme is just perfect. It is right there.
It is.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
I mean, so we already started talking about it. Let's get into it. Ben Bateman going to the Den. Now, look,
Ben Bateman.
I have been a Ben Bateman stan for the last 2 years. Last year, he just had a bad manager.
Bullshit.
It wasn't his fault.
Bullshit. You've been one of the most critical people I've ever seen of Ben Bateman.
Well, because when you talk to Ben, and
which
Jeff,
is fine,
and Buck, you've talked to him. He will tell you his aspirations is championship or bust. They're not. It's not. Hey, I just want to play.
That should be everyone. That should be everyone.
Well, let's be honest. That's not everybody in the Showdown. There's people here that want to have fun.
The people that are competitive, the people that want to fight, that want to like fight for it. There are people that obviously care about this on different levels, and that's fine. There is the competitive nature and there is the entertaining nature. And of course, last year really showed the competitive side. This year is from what it seems like, it's going to really focus more on some of the entertaining stuff about it. Bateman is obviously someone who
he has a lot of work to do to get to that singles belt, by the way. Like he is really far down on the list.
Do you have the other rankings up or something?
He's 13. He's 13 on the list for.
So but that's
probably 3 wins. That's probably 3 wins and then a number 1.
Well, here I agree with you. I think it's 3 wins, but let's be honest, he has a big name. You're going to want him in big matches. So I guarantee you the first match that he's announced for is probably going to be a big match. If he wins that in any kind of capacity, he's going to get to somebody that's really high ranked. And if he can win that, and look, let's be honest, Bateman, as much as crap if I gave him over the last 2 years, who has he lost to? Champions. Or he had the one where he lost to Paige Fabretti. Okay, sure. That happens.
Fabretti, who is also a very promising player.
He doesn't have bad losses.
He does exactly
bad losses.
There's people in the sport that have bad losses.
Just like many people, he has individual moments where there's a single question where it's like, oh my God, how did you miss that? But like that happens with so many other players. But as far as Bateman being a heel, I think it's perfect working with Kate because I believe they have a pretty good relationship anyway. So it's going to translate, I think, really well to chemistry on film together, because I don't think they've actually really worked together.
They did some SEN stuff. They did some SEN stuff.
Oh, together. No, I was gonna say I don't think they've really worked together on camera in terms of
of course, Showdown
the canon of the Showdown.
Yeah.
So, but also let's keep in mind this whole thing of like, oh, he's at least three matches away from this. This year, whatever the hell is happening, there is no real path to the belt anymore. There is no three wins and then you get a number one contender. This is going to be however the showrunner feels it to be and what makes sense for it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you have to play a tournament to get a belt.
I'm not saying based on last year it was 3 wins, you got a number one. I just think based on where he is in the rankings, that I personally feel 3 wins.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying rankings I don't think actually matter as much now either. Because rankings
never matter.
Well,
they kind of did last year. They mattered the last
year. The competitive nature of it. But like for instance, someone like when we talk about people that have 3 wins under their belt now, Radis, right? The Rager, he has 3 wins. So by virtue of the rule last year, he should be getting a number one contender match.
He's 16 right now.
I seriously doubt he's getting. Yeah, I seriously doubt he's getting a number one contender match next. I think that they're going to
rude, Jeff. Rude.
No, because that's not what they're doing. Because remember, in his last match afterwards, what do? They had him attack someone like Kevin Smith. I don't know if that's going to be his next thing or not, because we don't know what's going on with Kevin Smith. All we know is he's being advised by Coy, which is definitely an odd thing.
Apparently, Kevin Smith was in the mountains running today, and a person did a TikTok with him. So he's alive. He's there. He's in the mountains
he's alive.
Running. Yeah, he's I just don't know what he's doing.
He's been running a lot ever since he went vegan. But
maybe I should do that. Real quick, shout out to Lunch Break Hot Take. If you love sports, check these guys out. One of the best. If you love boxing, we just did a top 25 boxing ranking. One of the funnest times I ever had. They're releasing it in parts. So if you're into boxing, check them out. You'll see me on there.
Really good though.
Yeah,
check it out.
Really fun. Real fun. Go ahead, Beck. Go ahead.
I don't know boxing, but I watched it to help out. It was really, really insightful. I can definitely tell you guys had fun with that one.
Oh, I had an amazing time. And AJ Lancaster, I think it's 2 wins to a contender, can fly up those rankings quick. Absolutely, he can. But here's the thing, like Jeff was saying, we don't know if the rankings are going to mean much this year. But you know what does mean much? Your name. Bateman has a name in the Showdown, so he's absolutely going to get matches. And not only does this bode well for himself, but it also is going to bode well for the Den. I said it earlier. Ben is one of the best tacticians in the Showdown. He understands the game. He knows the history. Now you're pairing him with a psychopath like Saul, who's all about studying, and you're also hooking him up with Thomas Harper, who had no Showdown experience and got to the belt and won the belt and defended the belt. That's pretty scary if you really think about it, because now you have, what do we always talk about? What Saul was lacking was in person, ability to play the game. Well, who knows how to play in person? Great. Ben Bateman. Ben Bateman absolutely is going to work with Saul now. And I remember, Jeff, we had Video Drew on one night and she talked about it. Ben Bateman, when he joined the faction of the Dungeon and she started to work with him, she became a better player. You don't think that's going to happen to Harper and Saul and Jen Kemp and their other 5th player?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Harper getting even more dead? Like, that's just scary. He was deadly last year. Can you imagine if he just gets someone like Bateman that can just help him just a little bit more? Like, we could see multiple defenses.
And he's going to be able to help Harper because let's be honest, Harper kind of pretty much knows the front and back of Star Wars. Yeah. But with the new additions of the
wild card,
the wild card, the other categories coming into Star Wars, Bateman can help him study for that stuff, help him get ready. I mean, Harper already knows. We've talked to Harper many a times. He talks about it. You're not going to be able to focus on the movie. You have to actually focus on a lot of different things. Compared, with the wheel, and Bateman's going to help him be able to get ready for that because Bateman is able to do that. I think they're going to be
an incredible storyline. AJ
Harper going to get Bateman ready for the Star Wars in 60 days. That would be awesome.
Could you imagine if they did an exhibition thing like that? But also, like what Thrawn says here, this is something that I'd like for them to do, sort of. I mean, like if we go back to movie fights, we're not necessarily referring to certain people involved in movie fights, but the general idea of Dan Murrell was a reigning, defending, movie fights champion for so long. But also, many times, he'd play a movie fights match and he wouldn't have his belt on the line just because. So I wish that they'd do more stuff like that. I mean, like last year, they just had a random exhibition. I know because of like some other stuff that happened, but they had a random exhibition of just Collins Dan. That would have like just stuff like that. Just random matches for people that I know that they didn't have belts at the time.
That never went public. I think that was Patreon only, I believe. I don't think it ever went public.
I don't know, but it was
no. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Maybe not everyone's seen it, but they did talk about saying.
But what I mean by that is, and I get they don't have a belt there, but like, I mean, it's the same thing where it's like, all right, Marisol had the belt, but then she still got to play other matches without a belt in there. Granted, it was because it was she just did the Black Cinema exhibition, or she was in teams, stuff like that. I think that it's I wish he was great. Hoot hoot.
No one else.
And no one else. I want to see that too. I want to see Marisol or Mike or Shazam or Harper do these many things, because it's like, remember how we got to see Harper recently on the Northern Entertainment Group's channel? Get to do a whole, like a bunch of Star Wars players all got together and did a match about the holiday special. Yeah. Right? Like, why can't we see stuff like that for people that still have belts? Let them continue to just play every now and then. If you're going to do some fun, random things, I get it. Maybe they have specific budgets and blah, blah, blah. But like, it's fun to see these people participate still and stuff without always having to like only be there because they have a belt on the line.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would like to see it. I think also too, that's why, that is why for me, the fact that we're getting like a Wildberry versus Video Drew with Claudia Dolph, it's going to be fun because there's nothing really on the line. If they win, obviously they can get more matches, but we're not so like, oh my God, this needs to be for something. There needs to be something that they get for winning this. Like it's going to be nice to have these real laid back matches. It'll be fun. It's going to be fun. Eventually, we might get the Wildberry versus Real Rejects match.
I mean, it's so funny that you say laid back matches with Wildberries, because I feel like Wildberries matches are far from laid back. I mean, they did keg stands in the middle of rounds before. So
and you had a certain someone grind against the singles title belt, which is still one of my favorite moments he's ever done.
Yeah, AJ's right there. Like, come on, fuck it. Just do like a random match where it's like, give a rookie a match against a champion. Why not? Let him do it. Let him come in and just do that shit.
I mean, yeah, that's the old, remember the old WWE stuff where you would, where you would play this random person against a champion, but the belt wasn't on the line.
I have very little experience when it comes to wrestling. All right. My wrestling experience is a couple weeks ago for the very first time I actually watched WWE. I watched Royal Rumble. It was awesome.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. It was weird. But maybe because of like the lack of context and also the fact that apparently I felt just as like underwhelmed by it as everyone who's actually a fan of it.
Wrestling hasn't been the same for a while. It's one of those weird things.
But like another thing that like I know from wrestling is like I've seen Fighting with My Family, and that whole story of oh my God, whatever
Paige,
the wrestler Paige, and she did her whole NXT training, but then her very first sudden match that she was gonna have was already a title match.
It was because in NXT she got over really well with the fans. So WWE was like, "All right, you're white hot. We're gonna put you in," and then they put the belt on her and set up a whole thing. But I get what you're saying.
What I mean is like first introduction and then suddenly give them a belt. Like, do that shit. Why not? Fuck it. This whole thing, if the whole thing is supposed to be, let's figure out the best way to be entertaining. Like, the difference obviously is that this isn't choreographed. The questions are the questions, and they're still studying. But
so if a rookie actually wins, they actually earned it. So if they beat the champ, like they actually earned it, and it'd be pretty crazy.
Exactly. Fuck it. I know. Just keep saying, just like, whatever, do it. Like, why do we care? What do we have to gain from it? Maybe we'll be entertained. Maybe we won't. Here's the thing. I've said it 100 fucking times. The Showdown this is the beginning of its 9th season. All right. This show is so much younger than WWE and the only and NFL and MLB and shit. The only thing that's not fucking younger than now is AEW. And even that is just basically building off of the people that left other stuff or whatever. Right. So, I mean, it's still finding its groove. Let them do weird shit. Let them do random stuff like that. Let them make shit up on the spot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then, sometimes it's
maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Perfect use.
I'm just saying. But I think I'm super excited. Now we still have one more announcement tomorrow, which is the Rock Stars, which is kind of weird. Or the Stars. That's kind of weird that it's going to be Janine making the announcement.
I've seen some interesting theories as to what it is, but
like what, Buck?
No. I'm just saying that maybe Roxy's no longer the manager. Maybe she's no longer involved, and Janine is the actual manager now.
That's a weird theory.
I saw it. I
That's
don't
a weird
remember
theory. I want to see managers duke it out again. It's been a couple years since a manager bowl. I want to see managers duke it out again. I want to see managers get in a match, if it's an exhibition or anything like that. Like, I want to see one play. I want to see a couple play against each other.
So now that Sam's gone, who's the best? Like, if they did all managers in a match, who would win? Who's left?
I was gonna say Kaiser. I was like, goodness,
hey,
maybe
hold on.
Maybe Kate.
Actually, here's the thing. I disagree about Kaiser, and it's only because I've played trivia with Kaiser.
I've watched him. I've watched him play trivia against Gucci at 2 o'clock in the morning while he's drunk.
If it's like 80s action, he's good. Outside of that, no. Sorry, Kaiser.
No.
If he, what Kaiser knows? He knows Walter Hill.
Oh yeah, no, Winston. Actually, no, Winston's
okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know who might actually not be half bad? And maybe it's from the conversations I've had with him. And just like, obviously he's always so good and he always falls short. It's fan favorite Adam Witt.
Adam Witt, yes.
Yeah. Adam.
I think I would put. I think I have to pick between Adam Witt.
Kelly, I want to see. I want to see a Walter Hill exhibition with John Kaiser. Bring it back to your manager. Make it happen.
So now we're. Well, here's my thing now. So Bateman goes to the den. What's going to happen with Dan Murrell?
Good question.
I think he's going to be a rogue agent. Me personally, I think he's a rogue agent.
Rogue agent? So he's Bond?
Yes. I don't even know what the term is for these people that aren't on faction. Like, did they ever say
floaters? I don't know. Floaters?
Rogue agents? I don't know.
I think that he is going to go rogue. I think that there's going to be, I mean, we don't really know. There's weird shit around the way that Ben phrased it. And it might have just been, it might be because like it's not his place because they want to do another announcement thing because Dan is, arguably in the canon of the Showdown, even more than Roca. I'd say he's probably like the biggest name in the Showdown amongst Showdown people.
Factionless,
say factionless. Factionless. I like Rogue, but solo, Rogue, factionless, whatever. We're all in agreement there. I think he's gonna go and be on his own. I think he's gonna probably be someone who focuses on like maybe one thing. If you recall, I don't know if it'll happen, but does anyone remember when back in the this was like 2 years ago? He wanted to try out IG.
Oh yeah, I remember that because he was.
You remember that?
He was
and then he just
for a match,
fucking winning, and then he just kept winning singles and teams, and he's like, I got to put it on hold. Well, now what's he got going on? That could be fun.
I think this would be a perfect time for him to put his foot in that IG pool. I mean, he's probably been studying and training with Mara for like 2 or 3 years, so
yeah,
very curious.
I
would love to. Hey, Jesse, that's who your next match can be, Dan Murrow.
Jesus.
Could you imagine if they did some sort of like crazy like teams IG thing or something? They just made that up. And the only because like they would be a great team in IG possibly if that sort of thing happened. What up?
What up, Galaxy Geek? I don't know if it's Luke, Eli, or Audrey. Audrey, yes, Audrey.
I feel like it's Luke. I feel like
probably Luke. It's probably Luke. You should go watch him play Pokemon. It's hilarious. It's one of my funnest things to do is watch him play Pokemon. I do it, all the time.
Yeah. You just watch him like online through the window. What do you do?
It just stare at him while he plays. I don't want to tell him so he knows where I'm watching him from.
All right. I got to clarify though. Are your pants off while you're watching him?
I do not take questions right now. Anyway, hot take. Merle and Bateman both win their first matches. They'll probably play live again in their second match. Oh, very hot take. Very hot take. You talked about Radis being 3-0. What if Dan Murrow has to play Radis? And then Radis beats Dan Murrow. Then you can't say it's 3-0. It's not legit.
I obviously that's a crazy what if, and like when we saw Janine win, that was a huge thing. But I'd have to say the one thing that I don't think would actually help in this case is Radis's whole Radis's whole strength is basically horror. Like that's his big thing that he's known for too. But Dan is also a huge horror lover. Him and Mara have like whole programs they do together on horror. In October, they love horror movies. They watch them all. I feel like horror isn't nearly as much of a gap for him as it is for some other people.
Yeah, I mean, but go back to when he beat the animal. He what was her name? The actress that he took. It was
he did fuck up. He messed up one question, of course.
One question, but he got the rest. Was right.
I'm totally blanking out, but for whatever reason, I'm thinking it's Mia Farrow and Rosemary's.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not Mia. It was. I think it was Meg. Was it Meg Ryan? Look up the wheel, Buck, if you can, for that match.
Yeah, Buck, can you do that? Can you do that work for us right now?
Yeah. Radis versus Alvarez. If Paige Fabretti goes to the den, look, first off, not only am I going to be the happiest motherfucker in the world, but I'm going to be the happiest motherfucker.
You're going to have another person with a very extreme accent on that faction.
So what exactly? So are we looking for what was on the wheel, you said?
No. What did Radis take in round 2?
Okay. Hold on.
I think he got horror and he screwed it up.
No, it wasn't horror. No. It wasn't horror because I had a conversation with
romantic comedies. Was it?
No, it wasn't right. No. It's
Disney family films.
Disney.
No. That was Alvarez. Radis.
Okay, Radis.
Yeah.
No. It was. I think it was Meg. I want to say Meg Ryan.
Buck, you need to find this right now. This is great content for us. Like, just keep doing it. You've got
absolutely.
This. I believe in you. You've got it.
Come on, Buck.
Silence until
Meg Ryan.
No.
It was Meg Ryan. It was Meg Ryan. He missed the first question because he thought it was absolutely correct, but then he got the rest.
Oh, right. I remember that. The absolute straight up confidence.
Oh, the confidence. Of it. That's like saying it's like who starred as the Godfather in The Godfather, and it's like saying like Diane
Al Pacino. No, you're like Al Pacino.
Yeah. It's like Al Pacino. No. But he said it with such confidence. Now, obviously, it's not the real question. But I mean, like,
he's this.
Yeah, it was.
Nope.
It was.
And then Mark's like, nope. Yeah, I'm rude. Yep. I mean, he should know. He was also there.
He was there. He was there. It was a great time. Like that. That was honestly one of the most awesome times. I don't know if Amiru wants me to tell this. I don't know. It's kind of behind the scenes. But I'll say there was. But I'll say there was somebody in the crowd. There was somebody in the crowd. And when Mike was doing his promo, I don't think this person got it was a promo, and the words uttered were like, "Do I need to go check him?" Was said.
Yo, do you remember at Spectacular when everyone's talking or the questions are being asked, and there's that one guy in the audience who's just screaming and he's cheering, but like at the wrong moments constantly?
Yeah, it was like the first 3 matches, and then like there was like a intermission.
Well, what happened was he was in fact like asked. He was like, "Hey, can you please like, can you calm down? You need to stop." And he kept going, so they're like, they ejected him from the fucking event.
Yeah. Armor's got people. No, I loved it because that's something I would have done if I didn't know what the Schmodown was. I would have said that. And let's break my take. Did Suge utter those words? No, I didn't utter those words because I know what Mike was doing. It was Kate and Radis answer. Okay,
Kate and Leopold. That's a James Mangold movie with
this the swagger, the confidence. There's I got this. No, you
and don't. Then totally miss it. But and we'll kind of end on this because I do need to go play a tournament for Magic. So if you want to watch me probably play, I might stream it. I don't know yet. But we'll end on this. For Bateman, what is his goal this season?
Singles belt. And
just the singles?
And to defend it. That's the one thing he hasn't, because he's won it already. He needs to defend it. I say if he defends once, it's a successful season for him.
I think that it's a 2-pronged thing for him. On the one hand, absolutely, he'd love to have that singles belt again. On the other hand, he had such weird kind of up and downs last year. I think what he needs is, even as a heel, he needs people to root for him again in a way, to want to follow and see him, as opposed to just acknowledge him as a big name. As you know, he came up short in teams, and he kept coming real close to the title for singles and then falling short. And people kind of like, well, I don't know, it almost felt like, is this it? Like, do we have to keep following him? I think he wants to play and grow that heel character and what he can do differently with other people that he hasn't really worked with in the Showdown before on screen, in order to build out the character to be someone we want to follow. So I think it's a 2-pronged thing. There's the entertainment value and there's the competitive value once again.
I think right now for Ben, he is in the same position Kobe Bryant was in 2008, 2009. He's one of the great players in the league, but he has to win one on his own without the help of the exchange, without Bobby Gucci, without Dan Murrell. And he needs to win the belt this year. And if he takes a team like the Den,
but when he won his belt, he did it on his own.
Really? No, but he did. But he had the faction. He had Dan Murrell.
Yeah, he had the horseman.
He had the horseman behind him, and he had Gucci.
I forgot.
If he goes to the Den, wins the belt, and helps the Den get even close to a faction championship, if we're even doing that this year, but has them a top faction, Bateman is considered. I mean, he's considered a great now, but this puts him on Rushmore pretty much. That's what I'm saying. This would put him on Rushmore with Murrell, with Roca, with whoever else you want to put him up there. That puts him up there because he's on a team. He's going to a team right now who Rockstars, the Stars were the last place team last year, right? It was
Swag.
Dungeon.
Got the Swag was last place. Janine. No, wait. Did Janine get Stars out of last place? I think Janine got Stars out of last place.
I think she got them out.
But the bottom 4 teams were Dungeon, Swag, Den, and the Stars.
Dungeon
was
in third place.
Okay, not Dungeon. Okay, then no, not Dungeon. Sorry, the Stars, Swag, Den, the Den, and then who else? So there's only 8 factions, right?
So it was Swag, Stars, Den, Suspects.
So okay,
hold on. What about the Burning Droogs? Where are they?
They're burning. So yeah. So if he could take,
with that win, she did bring them out of last place because they had 25, Swag had 24. So because she beat Dan.
Okay, so if he goes to the Den and gets them out of the bottom 3, bottom 4, that's very, that's a good thing, and he's going to be able to do it. They're set up perfectly. Kate was able to manage a player to a championship. She has Saul right then and there. He has to just improve on playing live, and like I said, he has Bateman now. Bateman can show him how to play live and get him to that level. This team's going to be this faction's going to be very dangerous. So I'm excited to see my faction become the best faction ever.
I want to see you simp so hard this year. I expect
for Bateman. Oh, it's going to be horrible.
It's going to be so great.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward.
I've been a song about you.
I've been a Bateman fan for the last 2 years. That's all I can say. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You've been a Bateman fan, but the other issue is that you also were a Den fan first and foremost, so you always had to. You had to put on a.
By the way, that freaking TikTok fucking just killed me today. Freaking love that one.
There you go.
Which one? I wasn't on TikTok. I didn't check it out.
It's on Twitter.
Check out Suge's TikTok, everyone.
Sure. Check it out if you want to. If you have time. All right, so we are gonna get out of here. Once again, thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Before we get out of here, Buck, Jeff, promote whatever you need to promote. Where people can find you, things like that.
Jeff. No.
Okay, never mind. Well, you can follow me here on Twitter, BrandonBuck88. You can follow our Showdown related channel, Shmow Me the Money. Our Twitter, Shmow Me Money. You can follow us on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, youtube.com/Shmow Me the Money. We do have a Showdown show. We will be going live after the pay-per-view on Saturday. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. It'll be
Am I invited? Am I invited?
Of course you are.
You're always invited. You just have to say yes.
Yes. And so I think what I'm most excited for Saturday is just the chance of potential cutscenes. That's all I want. I want cutscenes back.
So here's what I'll say about Saturday. I'm excited for a lot of things. I'm excited for them actually announcing shit. Like, there are people who get to hear more stuff behind the scenes, or like they get to hear from their friends, and even people that get to like hear stuff aren't hearing as much because there's so many things that are like being kept top secret that are being like big announcements. So it's going to be very exciting, especially even for people that normally have everything, down. They already know what's happening. Pretty much everyone's going to be surprised by it. There's going to be a lot of big changes. I think there's going to be some big stuff that's going to change, some new stuff, different people that might be involved somehow. I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to be very different. Hopefully people enjoy it. Hopefully not. Not saying that we have to enjoy it. We're not out here to just say, oh yeah, I'm going to suck the long dick of the Showdown every day of the week. But I'm hoping
that's how the podcast is jobs.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we enjoy it. I'm hoping that it's fun. I'm hoping that we like it.
Exactly. And I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with us. Once again, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more stuff, not just Showdown content, be doing sports content. We'll be doing whatever kind of content I want to do on here. That's what's great about having your channel. I would like to get to 100 very soon if possible. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thrawn, AJ, Amaru, Lunch Break Hot Take, Kelly, Galaxy Geek. Who else? Anybody else I'm missing? Obviously, Buck, Jeremy Miller, Buck, and Jeff. Appreciate all you guys for hanging out and hanging out with me, getting to talk about the Den. Really appreciate it. Make sure to hit these guys up on Saturday after the pay-per-view to hear their thoughts on that match between.
Yeah, we'll have at least.
I'm trying to pronounce the name right. I'm just trying to pronounce the name right because I don't want someone coming in here saying I didn't pronounce the name right. Chandru. No, I didn't even say that. Anyway,
Chandru Dandapani.
There we go. And versus Kevin Smets, which is going to be an amazing thing to actually say that Kevin Smets came back.
Hopefully, I said
to play a Showdown match. So make sure to check these guys out. Once again, make sure to follow me, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere else. Thank you very much.
They're saying Chandaru. Chandaru. We'll figure it out. So that way we can do it properly in the future.
Yes.
Just because this is the middle of the closing out, we keep talking while we're leaving.
It's all good. It is all good. Yep, Kelly, super excited about the pay-per-view. Once again, enjoy your guys' night. Have a great one. Talk to y'all later.